Hello there, my name is Hector. Thank you for joining us on this video of our series, The Mental Approach to the Game of Baseball. In this particular video, we will talk about the most exciting aspect of the game of baseball, hitting. I'm going to start with a short section dedicated to coaches, then the rest is going to be for the players. So, my coaches out there, please do not attempt to correct your players' batting stances, waiting stances too soon without first giving them a chance to see what they can do with their natural given talents. What I mean is, if you see a kid, for example, at the plate holds the bat like this, do not go and correct it. Do not attempt to have them mimic a major league player, which is what we all coaches do. We try to box this kid that had never held a bat before, mimic, for example, the waiting stance of Albert Pujols. Lower squatting, legs wide open, elbows right above the ear. Impossible for a young kid to come out of that stance and being able to swing the bat through the zone, making contact with the ball. It's not going to happen. What I suggest is allow the kids to express themselves, to experiment with their natural stance. If they can hit hard, then do not play around with it. If they cannot hit at all, then slowly and methodically introduce small changes. Do not focus your training sessions so much on batting practice. Batting practice, throwing batting practice, hitting ground balls and hitting pop-ups and turning two is almost useless. I am sorry that this is what most practices consist of, but this is useless, as most kids during games, they cannot hit. Instead, what you should do is focus on what every kid already knows how to do, and that is run. Focus on base running, okay? The team with the best base running will win most of the game. But if you decide that you are going to throw batting practice, otherwise every parent in there will meet you in the dugout and beat you up, then what you must do is simulate real game situation. Bring your 3 or 4 pitches from your squad, okay, a couple of catches in full gear behind the plate, and simulate game situation. Do not lay a baseball on a tee, on a platter, so the kid builds up false confidence that he could hit when he actually cannot hit, okay? Have your pitchers go full out, throw as they were throwing to an opponent on a real game, and the batters will get to practice against live pitching. This is the only way that batting practice makes sense, okay? Otherwise, do not even try wasting your time doing it, okay? Fear is a very natural emotion meant to protect you. When your brain, through your eyes, see this person on a hill that throws very hard with a very violent motion stepping towards you and throwing something in your direction, it's only natural that your body will do 3 things. Your body will either freeze, your body will make you run away, or your body will make you fight, attack, swing at the pitches, okay? This is what you will do. One thing that you must try to practice is, in doing so with live pitching, is to train your brain that this is natural, that you're not going to be killed, that you're not going to get hit, that this is natural, that the pitcher is actually throwing at the catcher behind you and not at you. This is very difficult at all levels of the game. When a batter is afraid or unsure or has doubt at the plate, such a batter is determined to be in a slump. He takes pitches that he should be swinging at, and he swings at pitches that he should be taking. This is nothing but fear, which is fine again. Fear at times is good. What you should not allow is allow fear to control you. Be very careful here, however, this is very dangerous. If you are truly afraid at the plate, to the point where you are frozen, as if your feet weighed 100 pounds each and you cannot move away from the incoming pitch, this could be very dangerous because you can get really injured and really bad. If this is the case, if you are not comfortable, maybe you try switching like left-handed, try maybe I know having your dad maybe pitch you with a beach ball, with a volleyball, with a basketball, with some tennis ball off a tee until you get comfortable. Not your dad, but maybe have your brother or have some other of your friends go to the park and just throw balls at you so you can practice hitting. Again, it's very critical. If after all of this you are still afraid, there's nothing wrong with you. So it's quite fine if you could find another sports that doesn't have this intimidating feeling. One thing that you must train yourself is to recognize that when the pitch throws, he's not throwing at you, he is throwing at your catcher. But I repeat again, if you are in a position where you cannot defend yourself at the plate, then baseball is not a game that you should be playing, okay? Now that you have your fear somewhat under control, the next thing is you must be willing and eager to be the one to come up to the plate and hit. Do not shy away. Do not wish that the batter at the plate gets thrown out so you don't have to hit. Look for the opportunity, okay? Yearn, you are eager, you are itching to be the one to come up with a plate when the game is on the line, when the game matters, and come through for your team by getting on base, by moving those runners, by scoring the winning run, okay? And cheer and celebrate and have fun. When waiting for your turn to bat, one of the first things you should do is study the pitcher, but not looking at the pitcher to be intimidated by him. Instead, look for his release point. Look at the baseball. You will be hitting the baseball, not the pitcher. The pitcher is not coming to tackle you. He will simply work with his catcher to try to trick you, to throw a fastball when you are waiting for a softball and throw you a softball or a breaking pitch when you are waiting for a fastball. It's all a trick. So a way that you could counter this is by watching the release point of the baseball when he delivers it, okay? You should be looking at where is his hand when he throws the ball to his catcher. That is the area that you should be looking at from the on-deck circle. Do not wait until you come to the plate to start planning. While you are on deck, you should know the number of outs, the score, the inning, where there are any base runners on. What is the value and purpose of your at-bat? Are you taking pitches? Are you bunting? Are you hitting the ball on the ground? Are you trying to hit a pop-up? Or are you trying to go for the fences and hit the ball 500 miles? All of this information you must have before you step into the plate, okay? So you overcame your fear of hitting somewhat, you studied the game situation, and you were willing to be the one that come through. Now you step up to the plate, okay? At the plate, there is something called a waiting stance and a hitting stance. There is also something called the strike zone and the hitting zone, okay? The way you hold the bat while you are waiting for the pitcher to deliver the ball to his catcher has nothing to do with the way you hit. This is simply, as the name says, a waiting stance, not a batting stance. Your waiting stance is just the way you stand, has nothing to do with the way you hit, and everybody has a unique waiting stance. Some guys are here, some guys are here, some guys are here, some guys are there. It doesn't matter what you do as long as you are in time. Once you commit to hitting the ball and you are able to hit the ball hard, okay? So it doesn't matter the way you stand. Do not try to mimic somebody else, otherwise it's going to cost you. The strike zone is only of importance or value to the opposite pitcher and catcher. You want to look for pitches in your particular hitting zone. A ball in your hitting zone is not necessarily a strike. A strike is not necessarily a pitch in your hitting zone. What does that mean? That even if the ball is a strike, and let's say that you will take a pass at it, it does not necessarily mean that you will make hard contact with the baseball. However, if you see a ball in your zone, if you let it go, may not be called a strike, but if you take a good hack at it, the ball is going to go flying by a mile. That is what you should be looking at. Pitches in your hitting zone. Do not be too selective. Do not wait for a perfect strike. In Little League, almost nobody throws strikes. If the catcher catches it, you are charged with a called strike. So you should be looking to hit every pitch the pitcher throws, every time he throws, and only hold if it's way out of your zone, if you cannot reach it. If you can step into it and hit it, then go for it. Do not stand there taking strikes Otherwise, you are going to be walking back to the dugout screaming, upset because you missed the opportunity. Always be hunting pitches. Think that you have a chance to hit every pitch and only take it, as I said, if it's way off your hitting zone. Again, the hitting zone is any area around the plate that when you make a pass at a baseball, you have the best chances of making hard contact with it. Once you make hard contact with the baseball, always run hard to first base, okay? There are going to be times when your coach will ask you to perform an advanced way of hitting called bunting. Okay, there are two types of bunting, and they are both used in strategic maneuvering by your coach. The first one is bunting for a base hit. When you are bunting for a base hit, is because you realize when you're preparing, you see, wait a minute, the first baseman is way too back and looks too lazy, looks tired, he's hungry. The third base is playing too far and he's not paying attention. The pitcher ends up on the floor. He falls down every time he pitches the ball. So I am fast, so I have a good chance here without much effort of bunting my way on base. And you simply start in your natural waiting stance, and as soon as the pitcher delivers the ball, you surprise everybody by bunting. Bunting is simply starting above the strike zone and waiting to intercept the incoming ball. You don't hit at it, you let the pitch ball hit the bat, okay? And you use the backhand to hold the bat so the ball won't push the bat back, okay? Pow! And they just run like the wind. And the other type of bunting is a sacrifice bunt. In here, there is no surprise. Everybody knows you're bunting because you start on the bunting position. And this is a strategic play when you want to advance a base runner or two into a scoring position, because your team has their 2 or 3 best hitters coming behind you, and your coach thinks that they will have a better chance of scoring those runners. It is not that the coach does not trust that you could move those runners along, but the game situation, remember, the game situation dictates that the play here, that the strategic move here is for those runners to be moved over so your team could have a chance with the 2 hitters coming behind of scoring the winning run and walking it off, okay? If you're not prepared to hit, if you're not willing to hit, okay, doesn't matter what kind of bat you have, what kind of gears you have, you are not going to hit, okay? The opposite is true. If you're willing to hit, you could take a broomstick, you could take a pencil, and you still are going to be able to hit because you have your heart. Even with your foot, you will be able to hit the ball. So I hope you enjoyed the video. Thanks for watching. Again, my name is Hector. Thanks again.